Hello and welcome back to TNN's coverage of the world's 9 best fantasy football players league. I'm your host, and this is what we have for you this week. Week 8 brought some shocking results in interdivisional play. Last week, the crewmen got the upper hand of the two divisions, going 4-2. Currently, the crewmen lead interdivision play with an 11-7 record. This week saw some big disappointments for several teams as their players are going to be out for a long time. Derrick Henry, Michael Thomas, and late breaking news, Aaron Rodgers has COVID. To see how this COVID diagnosis was affecting his team, we reached out to Commissioner Tooch. Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers getting COVID, not great for the team, but people were really questioning me last week about picking up Big Ben. Thought I was just trying to mess with Timmy. Little did y'all know. Big brain move. My Wisconsin inside sources, they let me know what was up. Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be immune now. I think he actually might be the cure to COVID. So yeah, keep that in mind when the court is looking to Big Ben over the next couple of weeks. It's all going to be worth it. Aaron Rodgers, cure for COVID. You heard it here first. And moving on, as you know, TNN loves the fans, very responsive to fan comments. On last week's show, week 8, we received this comment right here. And of course, TNN reached out to Miguel to see what he had to say. And now, here is Danny Football with his picks for Week 9. Hey, what's up, guys? The world's 9 best fantasy football players expert, Danny Football here, back with another week of expert predictions. Last week, pretty good week for me, going 4-2, bringing my total on the year up to 30-18. Very respectable, if I do say so myself. Well, I guess Timmy had a very nice week at 5-1, coming very close to being the first ever guest to get a 6-0 record, but came up just shy of that. Luckily for him, though, he did beat the expert and will be able to come back on later this year. But now, it's a new week, we got a new guest, and a new chance to beat the expert. So guest, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, it's Wildy Tremp, owner of Team Big Chungus 22. Danny Football, what's going on, man? Good to be here in person.
Yeah, pleasure
Good to be
to have
shaking
you
the
on.
hand. I touched Danny Football. A lot of people probably don't even think he's a real guy. Probably think it's a robot in here. But trust me, I've seen the behind the scenes stuff, and he does it all in one take. He is perfection.
I do.
So he lives up to the hype. So Danny, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, thank you, Will.
Ready to add to your I won't even say it, but ready to win. I'm ready to win.
All right. We'll see about that one.
Yep.
First up, we have To Infinity and Beyond taking on Undefeated Never Lost. To Infinity favored in this one, 85% chance. Will, what are your thoughts on this one?
You know what? I have a lot of thoughts about these teams. Some of them happy, some of them not. Miguel, obviously, the big controversy this week, which with a certain unnamed individual of the wide receiver variety on his team that will no longer be playing football for his team or any team for a while. And Jacob on the other side, who's pretty selfish, I will say, not just in life, but also in running backs, big time, man. I mean, this guy is an absolute hoarder. I think Jacob's team is pretty darn fantastic. Unfortunately, that really pains me to say, because he won't give away any of his pieces, which I so desperately want, and which many of my roommates want, if you can figure out who my roommates are. But I love Jacob's team with somehow he started 4 running backs, man. I can't even start 2. And he's got some great wide receivers to add to it. And Miguel's team, he's still playing Joey Bosa, which is embarrassing. Just admit you lost the Joey Bosa, Leonard Fournette trade, man. Okay, Lenny is his dad. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in To Infinity and Beyond. Go Imposter Division.
Yeah, To Infinity, they moved up into first place in their division after getting that late win against the Twisted Teas. It's pretty big for them. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Their running back situation, really good. Honestly, I think they should try to capitalize, trade one of those guys before the trade deadline. I think there would be a lot of teams interested in that, and they've got some other holes on their team that they could fill in if they decide to get rid of one of those running backs.
Starting Tannehill. He's starting Tannehill.
It's a tough look. It's a tough look. It's a tough look. Undefeated, never lost. On the other hand, they've got to be feeling pretty down right now. They have the whole, wide receivers situation. They lost to their rival in Bonk last week. Very tough loss for them. And additionally, Deshaun Watson not traded before the trade deadline, so they're going to have to wait possibly a while for him to play again. Yeah, so really not a lot of thought going into this one. I'm going with 2 Infinity.
Bang, bang.
Next up, we have the Texarkana Bandits taking on McKiss Maballs. McKiss favored in this one at a 99% chance to win. Yes, you heard that right. McKiss, they're looking pretty solid right now. 7-1 record. Kind of streaking right now. Hot team. Tied at the top of the division. Bandits, on the other hand, they're down pretty bad. They have lost, was it 6 in a row now? 2-6?
6.
After starting out 2-0 to start the year. Look, fans of the show, Will, I know you're a fan.
Massive.
Fans of the show are going to know that I'm high on the Bandits.
First time I've heard that, but okay.
But I also have a brain. And this team is, oh God, they're down bad right now. 100% cursed. Something to look out for here. A.J. Brown, Zeke, they're going to want to show out against their former teams. I'm expecting both of them to do so. But really, one of these teams, just top to bottom, much better than the other team. I said it last week. I can't pick the Bandits. I'm begging, pleading with the Bandits to prove me wrong, but I'm going with McKiss in this one.
All right. That's respectable. I can't blame you. You had me going for a second there with the A.J. Brown and Zeke talk. I was like, what do you mean they're former teams? And when was Zeke on the Titans? But you know what? This is the league that really matters. Team ownership around here. So we'll see who really won that trade. Unlike, the Joey Bosa Leonard Fournette trade, which we all know the answer to that one. So
very, very one-sided trade.
There. Yeah. Going into this one, I didn't want to start another clan war amongst the Brooklyn house because things got pretty violent obviously during rivalry week back there. You don't want to be chopping onions around the guy you're playing in fantasy that week,
That's
especially
fair.
when you're up by a couple going into Monday night. Things get a little dicey. That was an onion pun.
That was
like
a
that?
nice pun. That was nice.
On the spot. I think the difference in this one, as will be the difference in the rest of the Jets season, is going to be Mike White. Okay. I don't even want to say that, some of the nicknames had me going. The one that it's currently is like almost uncomfortable to say. So I'm not even going to say it, but you guys all know what the nicknames are out there. They're funny. It's good content. I'm actually pretty high on the Bandits myself.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that to, convince their team, that maybe you should trade for me, gas them up a little bit, and be like, hey, you could still make a run or something. No, I think A.J. Brown totally turned a corner.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly a huge Cowboys fan because we are really just about watching CeeDee Lamb every week, and I'm saying a huge Cowboys fan after we just got dicked on by the Vikings. We got dicked on by them, but so you got Tony Pollard too coming alive.
Yeah.
That one guy on Kansas City, Williams, is doing absolutely nothing. So, but that's okay. These things happen.
Yeah.
Not everyone can have good running backs like Jacob.
Hey, watch out for Gore.
Oh yeah, watch out for Gore. Young Gore. Gore's kid. Honestly, it could be his kid. On the other end, McKiss with 99%. The running backs, I think, are overrated, quite frankly. I think Zeke and Jonathan Taylor due to fade. I would stay away from them, personally. I think the rest of the team looks pretty good. You got a lot of guys that can catch the ball and some strong defense, but no match for the Bandits. I'm just kidding. They are a massive match for the Bandits. Sorry, Grayson. I'm going McKiss. Me and Danny Football on the same wavelength so far. Go ahead.
Moving on, we have the Mental Brick Walls taking on Blinded by the Tight End. Blinded by the Tight End favored at 73% in this one. Who do you like here?
Well, unless I just read this wrong, I am disappointed to see that the brick walls are no longer starting the entire Falcons backfield, which, I don't want to say management is giving up on the team or intentionally tanking, because that strategy was winning them some games. The Chunguses fell victim to that team early in the year, helped along by a Bobby Wagner, resurrection 30-point game or something, which was outrageous. But, I think that's that team, the rest of the team's going to notice that, and maybe that management is losing faith in the team, even though he's pronounced long ago he's lost faith in this team. And on the other side, you got an absolute wagon with blinded by the tight ends. I mean, they got a lot of wagons on that team, but they are one themselves, top to bottom. Kind of unbelievable, with their receiving core. You got Devontae Adams out there doing big things. Whoever M. Jones is, he's a great player. And Herbie had a bit of a down week last week. I don't expect that to happen again. I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. And I think the whole team is going to as well. I think Tom's got a pretty strong defensive pieces as well. I'm seeing a theme of defenses winning a lot of games for teams out there, and it makes me a little sad when I see what I've got going on. But I'm going to go with blinded by the tight end in this one. So
yeah, I think that's a good pick. Blinded by the tight end, losing Derrick Henry probably for the year is a big blow to this team, especially because their running back situation was already not that great. They're going to be hoping that Christian McCaffrey does not come back so they can keep rolling Chuba Hubbard out there. Don't know how long that's going to hold up. And even if McCaffrey comes back, he'll probably get injured again because, Timmy cannot have nice things in this league. They also could be without a tight end this week. They've got Noah Fant and Dawson Knox, some COVID/injury troubles.
Ruh-roh.
Might be something to look out for there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very vulnerable team. Definitely a team that can be beaten this week.
But will they?
But luckily for them, they're going against the mental brick walls, who have been anything but a brick wall. In fact, very, very porous walls here. A lot of holes in this wall. Very easy to get through.
Straw wall.
Their team's just not great. Jalen Smith got released. Don't have him to rely on anymore. He's, Also, Trevor Lawrence, not been great.
No, he's not the truth.
Yeah, he's going against the Bills. I think it's going to be a real tough matchup for him. I don't have a lot of faith in this Brick Walls team. I expect them to be sellers come the trade deadline. I'm going with blinded by the tight end. But I will say this. I think blinded by the tight end is going to have some problems after this week.
You're welcome for the sound effect.
Thank you.
Your editing.
Thank you. All right, moving on. We have Ham and Throw taking on Team Big Chungus 22. Ham and Throw favored in this one, 86% chance to win. Ham and Throw, they were able to get a pretty nice win against Team M. Vanek last week, but as we all know, Team M. Vanek is a complete fraud. Don't know how they're towards the top of their division. Very, very bad team. Really beating up on them is nothing that Ham and Throw should take pleasure in. Ham and Throw, I'm very low on this team, They've been waiting for Michael Thomas to pan out ever since they drafted him. 4th overall in the startup draft, let me point out. How many games has he played since then? I don't know.
2?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, if he's lucky. I know Ham and Throw has just enough hope that they're going to make the playoffs. I really don't think they do. I think they should sell. I think they should sell a lot, actually. If they were looking to offload Austin Eckler or Dalvin Cook, I think they can get a pretty nice price for them.
Value.
I just really have a tough time seeing how this team is going to win games. Don't have a lot of hope for them. Turning to the Chunguses, they're pretty all right.
All right, it's a fair statement.
I'm going to go with Ham and Throw in this one.
This is bold doing this in the same room, man. I knew it was coming. Again, I don't want this talk about my team anyway. That's fine. Keep their name out of your mouth, Danny Football. They're too good for your mouth. Disgusting. Was it me then?
Oh, yeah. I'm done.
My turn to go on and defend my team. I don't have a lot to say about the Chunguses either, okay? I think they're the best team in the league. What more can be said? You want one of these weeks, Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, and Mike Williams are all going to go off for a 40-point game. And all those teams out there that are getting cold feet and won't trade me like a single defensive lineman for a 1v1 trade for Mike Williams, which I would be getting fleeced. I'm acknowledging I want to get fleeced again. Not again, because I haven't gotten fleeced yet. But and people won't take him, so they're going to regret not having Mike Williams on their team. I think I have a lot of respect for my opponent this week. Okay, I see that some big things coming out of those running backs. I'm learning to fear Damian Williams. Is that the guy? Is that a
Damian
player?
Williams?
Yeah. That's not the Patriots running back. I did a lot of research before this, so much that my head's kind of foggy. I think they got some good running backs over there. It's a more talented ham and throw team than my counterpart here is giving credit for. But I think the Chungai are due for a big, big week. Okay, we've had some small explosions here and there. Michael Carter really blew up last week. We're finally pulling Jalen Hurts. It's time for the Matt Stafford show. MVP season going on. I think some of the wide receivers again going to bring it all together this week. Defense is finally going to show up. That defensive line who needs a lot of help, but they're going to try to fight for their spots this week. And yeah, I think that ever since we acquired new kicker Randy Bullock, it's really changed the game. We've won one, I think, out of 3 games since we got him. But we win like 1 out of every 3, basically.
There we go.
It's a trend. So we're finally getting a little disparity between me and Danny Football here. I'm going with Chungses. Welcome to Chungai Village, baby. We'll see you on Sunday, Mr. Visconti. Good luck.
All right, next up we have the team formerly known as the Twisted Tees, the Pumper McNichols, taking on Bonk Go to Mahorny Jail. Bonk favored in this one, 60%. Will, who do you like here?
Close matchup on paper, obviously, and the matchup in the name game just got a lot closer too. I have to say, these are now 2 of the best names in the league for sure. Bonk always had it going on all year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got it going on. Every player on that team. But Pumpernickel, I love that we're putting all the eggs in the basket in here with Jeremy. You know, I like if you really think he's going to get double-digit carries, you're probably shitting yourself, right? They're going to be throwing the ball to AJ Green and Julio Jones all game, which is big for the Chunguses. Should probably put him on my lineup. I talk about my team like
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
No, I have Julio.
You said AJ Green.
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. Edit that out or something. All right. I'm sorry. I've been talking about my team like for every matchup, but the Pumpernickels, because someone's got to talk about them. The Pumpernickels, I want to like this team. I really do. You know, they're fun to root for because I like seeing Timmy be happy, but they just use a little help in the flex department. You got Lamar doing a great job leading the charge out there, but you know, T. Higgins just you can't maybe start him as your second wide receiver. He's not doing much. Thielen, big red zone threat, but again, you know, he's kind of hit or miss these days. I like some of the pieces we have on defense. Von Miller, the trade that just happened, I think he's going to come out, you know, angry, ready to rack up some more sack lunches, as he always does. And Leonard Floyd, always a force. So much respect there. On the other side, you look at the skill players on Bonk's team, and they're kind of unbelievable. You know, He's got the 2 crooks between Mixon and Hunt that are obviously carrying a big load for them.
Crooks is one way to put it.
Yeah, right. And then, similar to Crooks, you got Brandon Cooks, you know, just in name. Again, you know, he's between him and Cooper Kupp, some all-star wide receivers, and then you got Patrick Mahomes leading the way. I think Bonk is probably just going to be too much in this one, honestly, you know, versus the McNichols or Pumpernickels. So I got to go with the favorite here. I hate going favorites. I like some upsets. Sorry, Timmy, but I am in Joe's household. I can't pick against him today. So Bonk, see in the W column.
Yeah, you know, I think it's entirely possible that the Pumper McNichols are cursed. I don't know if I've said it before on the show, but they've lost 5 in a row now. They started out 3-0.
That's some Banda stuff.
Yeah, we saw this happen to Timmy's team last year. It started out really hot and then just kind of fell off after that. They're going with the team rebrand. I know they said last week that they might try to go with the nickname rebrand. I think that they might have to try that. You know, I don't know if the team name change is going to do it for them. Jeremy McNichols, look, I like him. I'm really upset that Derrick Henry's out. Just as a football fan, you know, Danny Football, big football fan. I don't know how great Jeremy McNichols is going to be though. I think there could be a running back by committee there. Even if he is the lead back, he's not going to get as many touches as Derrick Henry. Looking at Bonk, on the other hand, their team, they're pretty solid. They were able to get a nice win last week, even with a lot of their guys on bye. They still had a really nice performance. Also got big production out of the tight end spot from Dan Arnold, who they picked up. So whoever gave them the recommendation to pick him up should...
they should be an expert.
They should be an expert. That was a very, very commendable pick there.
Mm-hmm.
Look, at the end of the day, this is going to be a big matchup. These teams, they both want to win. Want to get close to the playoffs. They're fringe playoff teams right now.
I think they're ridiculous.
I just don't think that the Pumper McNichols, the name change, is going to do it. I don't love this team right now. And, Bonk, they're rolling. I'm going with Bonk. All right. Finally, our marquee matchup of the week. We have Court is now in session taking on Team M Vanek. Court favored this one, 94% chance to win. This one, when I queued it up as the marquee matchup, I thought both of these teams were going to be leading their division. Team M Vanek, they're in second now.
Didn't carry their weight.
No, 2 Infinity and Beyond get that last second win over the T's, bumped them up into first place in the division. But this is still big matchup, playoff implications right here. The Court, aside from the whole Aaron Rodgers, COVID, having to start Big Ben thing, they're looking pretty strong.
Yeah.
They've put up over 200 points in 7 out of 8 weeks so far. That's a lot.
Most teams haven't even done that once.
Exactly.
Tough.
Team M Vanek, they're in a pretty tough spot in this one. They've got 4 of their starting defenders from last week who are going to be on bye. Got to turn to some guys on the waivers to pick up and fill in the starting spots and defenders off the waiver wire. Big hit or miss. Not a situation that I love to mess with. If I had a team, of course. I would not love to mess with that situation. Also, Saquon might be coming back soon, which could hurt Devontae Booker, one of Team M Vanek's flex players, and his bench depth, not great. So if Devontae Booker goes down, they're going to be in for a world of pain. This one, I'm expecting the Court to offer Team M Vanek a plea bargain in this one. If you go through with the tank, there's still enough time for you to tank and ensure that you get a good pick. If you miss the playoffs, you'd have a top 4 pick right now. Guaranteed. If you do not tank, you will get destroyed in the playoffs, have the exact same amount of money you would have if you tanked, $0, and you're guaranteed to not have a top 6 pick if you make the playoffs. That sounds like a pretty good plea bargain to me. I'm going with the Court in this one.
That's merciful, Danny Football. I think you're letting him off the hook. I think the Court is letting him off the hook big time with that one. We just have your best interests at heart, Team M Vanek. Everyone wants you to succeed. You're clearly the favorite team in this league. We're all rooting for you. Most teams that start Jamison Crowder for the first 10 weeks of the season are probably not going to make the playoffs to begin with. You finally gave into the chatter you were hearing from the Chunguses about that one and benched him. And I see last week you picked up Khalif Raymond and he put up 0 points. And you spent $3 on that for him to put up 0 points. And you started him. So, look, I think it's finally time to rip down the curtain, see who's behind it. And it's Mike Vanek at the controls at the end of the day. And that's what makes me nervous about this team. I cannot say enough bad things about them. I cannot believe they won 5 games. They played such a soft schedule. I almost pity Miguel when I see about the points against that he's had put up, and then I look at Team M Vanek and how soft his schedule's been, and just how soft a person he is around the controls. But I think he's finally running the buzzsaw, the meat of the schedule here. The Court, even with the worst quarterback in the league, Big Ben, running the show this week. I mean, they're stacked. I can tell you, I played this team last week. They will step on your throats, and they bring down the gavel on your head over and over. It's like Myles Garrett with the helmet, but with the gavel to Mason Rudolph's head, just repeatedly bashing you in. Their defense alone probably beat me last week. So it's a scary team, and I'm saying this is my mortal lock of the week. I'm going. The Court is now in session over Team M Vanek all day. So. Danny Football, I think we only have one different pick, man. It's all going to come back down to the Chung guy this week. So
hey,
this just can't miss television.
It's a big matchup. Yeah, one to look out for sure.
Huge. Not marquee, but big.
No. Well, Will, thank you so much for being on the show this week. Happy to have you on. Wishing you all the best of luck with your picks. Of course, not as good as me. Can't beat the expert, but thank you again for being on this week.
Danny Football, it's been an honor, pleasure as always. I will see you probably around playoff time when I am back on the show after beating you.
Well, I don't know about that one. And thank you, Danny Football and guest Will, for those great picks. That's all we have for you this time. Be sure to come back next week to see how things turned out. I'm your host, and this has been TNN.
That was a long spiel. I apologize.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you ever change your mind, there's a lot of room on the Bandits bandwagon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Don't
There are a
afraid
lot
to
of dead
hop on.
bodies falling off at the same time making room.
Not
so,
me.
Yeah.
Could not be me. Could not be me.